Here's a client named Dr. Bob. He's a 44-year-old psychotherapist who's not doing as well lately because of managed care down in California where I'm from. So he comes to see the planner, and he mentions that he has a negative cash flow now, and he's not doing that well with marketing his practice. It's slipping. The planner says, you know, I know a great marketing expert that I'm sure can help you with your tools and resources and help you rebuild your practice. Dr. Bob hears this as criticism, not as help. And he says, I didn't come here to be lectured at. I didn't come here to be made to feel less than. I want you to listen to me and I want you to help me. I can market myself. I didn't come here to be treated this way. When Dr. Bob is done, the planner uses the empathy model. He says, I'm sorry, I had no intention of trying to tell you what to do. In fact, I see you as having tremendous marketing skills and clinical tools, and I just wanted to try to accelerate the area that you were telling me that you were feeling some pain in. But in no way did I mean to offend you. And let me work with you with where you think I can help. That verbal exchange of empathy with the nonverbal attending empathy, and Dr. Bob had spewed out his anger already. Dr. Bob was ready to listen. And what he said was, he said, I really appreciate what you just said. You got through to me. I'm very sorry. I was reacting to you like I do to critical men. It reminds me of my father. Whatever I did was not good enough. And I'm ready to go on with you. And I didn't mean to be rude. And Dr. Bob met with him and came back and brought a huge amount of his money to begin to invest. And very, very pleased with the outcome. You have to navigate the money trap rapids of your clients so they don't pull you into poverty thinking. And we'll go over them in order. I have a cartoon for each one. We'll start with rationalization. It's simple to explain away or make excuses for your negative experiences. The next money trap is avoidance. It's to procrastinate, delay, or defer activities. We all know this well, especially with the abundance of paperwork, voicemail, email. All right, projection of blame. This is an obnoxious one for planners and for therapists. It's to transfer the responsibility of bad feelings onto someone else or something else. Here's another dangerous one in your industry. Idealization. This is when your client has overly positive thoughts, feelings, and expectations, and they may put you on a pedestal. It can be addictive and it feels good at first, but it's not worth it because it's just a matter of time till you'll make a mistake, or they'll perceive that you made a mistake when you didn't, and you'll come off the pedestal rapidly, and they'll be very angry with you. Denial, very important to watch out for denial. Just blocking out from consciousness your bad experiences or feelings. We all do it a certain percentage of the time. It can wipe out your whole portfolio. And this last one is a little more sophisticated, but this really hurts the planner or the advisor. It's splitting. Splitting means that we make an abrupt shift or change suddenly from good to bad. So we may have idolized the advisor, and now the advisor is bad. Out with them, we're shopping for a new advisor. This is my psychology of money profile. In a minute, you can take it in real time with me. Remember, the whole test has 40 questions. This is a very crucial item, very interesting outcomes with advisors, with your field. When someone at work says or does something that really aggravates me, I respond most frequently by, put your answer. This question gives you immediate feedback with how your client is going to deal with you about negative things they don't like about you. If they answer A, that they would tell the person they work with about it, that's prosperity thinking. That means you can trust your client that if you do something to offend them, there's a higher chance, better likelihood, that they're going to tell you up front and not be avoidant of conflict. Choice B, telling their boss or coworker about it is mixed. At least they're going to deal with it with somebody at work, but they may talk about it behind your back. They may eventually come to you about it, or they may not at all, but they're dealing with it. The killer here is choice C. Watch out when your client checks C, and C is the most common answer to this question. Trying to ignore it and hope it doesn't happen again. When you have that, that means the client is probably not going to level with you if they're upset that you didn't return a call soon enough, or they're upset about their portfolio. So you're going to need to work with nonverbal nuance. You're going to need to read their facial expression, their voice tone. You're going to need to be sensitive to if they look disinterested or if they don't return your calls right away. And you'll need to, of course, use your verbal part of your empathy as well. But that's a very tricky kind of situation to handle. The interesting thing is, in the financial advisor industry, from all of my tests, this is the most common answer, C, poverty thinking, for advisors. Advisors don't like conflict any more than the next person. They're afraid if they say the thing that would aggravate somebody else, their client or somebody, that it'll start a conflict. And they don't want to do that. They want to play it safe. And the second reason, of course, is they're concerned about losing the client. Obviously, nobody wants to lose a client. What I can tell you is, if you use the psychology of money communication model that I've been outlining for you with verbal and nonverbal empathy, and you use the kind of confrontation model, when you do or say blank, I feel a little bit concerned, then confrontation leads to closeness. It leads to stronger client relationships and to resolution. To assist you in strengthening your client relationships and to knowing your clients from the inside out, I want you to see financial issues through 4 pair of eyes. The first pair is awareness from your own 2 eyes. The second pair of eyes is empathy through your client's eyes, which I've been emphasizing. The last 2 pair of eyes involve the letter I, which comes from my mission statement for today's talk, to inform and impassion you so you can internalize and implement the psychology of money into your practice. Now, even though I'm not a broker, I do have one closing quote for you to help you sustain your motivation. All of us are always going to do better tomorrow, and we would too, if only we started today.